You're on mute.
Wow, that is live TV. Thank you so much, Laura. And welcome, 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 everybody. And may peace be upon you. Welcome to the show, It Takes Courage, with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. I'm a best-selling author, a TEDx curator, and also a visibility expert. And I'm here with the incredible authors and speaker and team members from TEDx Huntington Beach, the authors of the book Possibility, and also the speakers and upcoming team member for TEDx Huntington Beach that is happening on the 23rd of September. So I want to welcome Erin, Aiko, Drew, and Laura to the show. Right, guys, just say a little bit hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
And first of all, congratulations on the book, Possibility, The Secrets to Living a Life of Possibility and Igniting the Power of Dreams, that was out last week, I believe, just a few days ago, and hit #1 in multiple countries. In the US, I think it was in Canada, I think it was in Japan, Australia, I think those are the countries. But yeah, and we had it is hard work, putting the book together, and also the speakers are going to be speaking at the TEDx stage, and Erin, who is the event coordinator, and myself working through things. Like, we never have it easy, huh, guys? We've always like, why do we even do this crazy stuff and not just let it be easy? So I wanted to kind of give everybody an opportunity to share their take on possibility, what it means to live a life of possibility. It's just easy to be where we are. We're comfortable and just stay here and be here. And what that life of possibility looks like. But first, I just wanted to give an opportunity for Erin, Aiko, Drew, and Laura just to say a quick hello to everybody. Erin, just say a quick hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today.
Awesome. Aiko, say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Laura, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you.
Awesome. And Laura is in the East Coast. Aiko is in way easterners in Japan. And Erin, Drew, and myself are here in California. So Drew, say hi to everybody quickly.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna have a quick chat with Drew, and then the rest of you can chill out in the green room about this possibility that we talked about, Drew. So you're now chasing a 20-year dream. You're working in the studio on your own solo album, which is for me so exciting, and I'm just so proud that you're taking the step of going for your dream 20 years on, amidst you doing a TED Talk coming up next week? I don't know, in a few days. So what is this about possibility, Drew, that kind of pushes you to do the things that you've never done before, to go for that 20-year dream, to put yourself out there, to be in front of people? Speaking style, Drew has a band, the Dales. that is used, performing in all around the country. So what is this about possibility?
Well, I think from a very young age, we all have dreams. We all have interests from the time we're young children. And what happens is responsibility and life starts, and then all of a sudden there's no time for this dream. And what I'm realizing, what I think the big possibility is for all of us, is that it's never too late. We can reinvent ourselves at any age, and we can actually learn to master new skills later in life. And I think that's very liberating for all of us. And it's actually been scientifically proven when we rehearse and repeat starts to grow new brain cells at any age to help us master a new skill. And so I think it's very liberating to get rid of limiting beliefs about this.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you talked about removing the limiting beliefs is that in your TED Talk, what you're going to be sharing is that using like the idea that your personal story is your greatest asset to become a singer-songwriter, and that everyday people, not just Backstreet Boys or Leona Lewis, not them, but everyday people like me, like Laura, Erin, and Aiko, perhaps, can use that to share our song with other people. So why don't you give us a little bit of take on that? Like, because this is like, oh, I can even write a song. Like, why would I even do that? Who would even listen to me? So
Yeah.
give us like a take on your idea that's coming up.
Yeah, well, all of our lives are rich with stories, stories of heartbreak, triumph, loss, love, relationships, and all of these stories can be turned into songs. And what's really cool about collaborating, and you don't have to know how to write music to be a songwriter. You just simply have to find a collaborator, somebody who's trained in music can be your co-writer. And what's really beautiful about sharing these songs is that you can reach other people's hearts that might be going through a similar experience. And it can be really a profound experience. I'll cite really quickly one example is that I talk about in my TEDx talk is a friend of mine who I believe she's in her 60s and she'd never written a song or sang before. And her story was about nursing her mother through Alzheimer's. It was a very powerful experience to write this song with her. And I know that when we release it out to the world, there are others who have been through this similar experience with a family member or a loved one. And when they hear this song, they're going to feel like someone understands them and someone else is there with them. And I love that power of being able to share our stories so that we can touch other people's lives.
Beautiful, like using that to touch other people's life. And Drew is going to be speaking at TEDx Huntington Beach on September 23rd. So, we would love for you to come and join us. Go to tedxhuntingtonbeach.com/tickets. There's only a few tickets left. And when I mean a few, I really mean a few tickets left, There's not much left there. And if not, like once we've done with the event, keep an eye for Drew's talk and the rest of the speakers' talk, and go ahead and listen to it and share it with the world. Thank you so much, Drew. We'll come back to you in a moment, okay? All right, so now I'm going to bring in Laura here, who's looking mighty popping today with her pink top. I think this is the first time I'm seeing her in a pink top. I think that top looks really good, Laura. You might consider that to wear on the TED Talk on the day. I know purple is your color, but what is this about possibility that you speak in the book that you're going to be sharing on the TED stage in a few days? Your take on the possibility of bridging the gap between tragedy and comedy. And in your book, you mentioned about following the crispy fries methodology that you have created. So give us a take on that unique idea, Laura.
Yeah, thanks so much, Iz. I am a big believer in laughter, a big believer. I probably came out laughing. My mom always jokes about that. And I think that when you laugh, you feel so much better that you can absorb life, because life can have its difficulties. And as Drew said, it can take you aside with responsibilities. And I think that playing in the world is really important. And I think we've all forgotten how to play. So, as you know, and as my story in the book says, and as I kind of hit on it a little bit in my TED Talk, my life, particularly the last 6 years, has had an enormous amount of tragedies of biblical proportions. And I had to put that in perspective myself and figure out a way to find joy, because I don't think we're meant to suffer. I just don't believe that. Or I believe we can certainly pull ourselves out of suffering through laughter. So, the leading edge of tragedy is that, well, the leading edge of comedy is the trailing edge of tragedy, and shrinking the time between the two is a noble cause. And they're really just different sides of the same coin. When I took a class in improv, they had us do comedy, they had us mirror each other, and one would start to laugh and the other one would cry, and then they try to meet in the middle as they switched. And it just shows how close they are. So I think finding comedic relief is a choice, and I think it's a good choice. I think a lot of people feel bad if they're laughing when there's tragedy around them, but comedians forever have been making a lot of people laugh and making money doing that very thing.
Absolutely. And I see that, comedians, they use their pain and turn it into laughter, the horrible things that happen to them in the past, whether it's in relationship or family or whatever it is, and ensure that somehow finding the humor in that, and not just making themselves laugh, but, making other people laugh at their, tragedy. Like, oh, like, if we were to look at this way, like, Laura, you mentioned the word a relief, find some kind of relief, because when things happen, you get so tense. It's really tight, it's like everything just tightens. So when you find a relief, you'll be like, we laughed about it, which is, beautiful. And Laura is going to be sharing her take on bridging the gap between tragedy and comedy on the TEDx Huntington Beach TED Talk coming up on the September 23rd. She also shared her method of the crispy fries. You want to go and grab the book and check it out what it is. But thank you so much, Laura, for your take on things. Laura gives some example of tragedy that she had endured. So follow the crispy fries, right, Laura?
It's a great perspective and what's going on in your life. What may seem like a tragedy is actually providing comic relief to put you in the direction of your dreams.
Absolutely. And one thing for sure, for the last 2 years, Laura and I have laughed more than we ever thought possible. And when we start to think of the things that that we have encountered together, I start to giggle, and I'm like, I can't believe that we actually laughed about that situation, which just seems absolutely absurd. And the funny thing is, you mentioned yesterday or something, it's the thing that we add layers to the tragedy, right? Or and that brings the comedy between us, which is absolutely absurd. So figure out if you can, find some relief and comedy in your tragedy, and that will kind of like create a possibility for you and open up things that you never expected before. Thank you so much, Laura,
Perfect.
for that
Thanks
sharing,
so
and I'll bring you up for the moment. All right, Aiko, I just wanted to say, have a quick chat with Aiko here, who currently is all the way from Japan, and I hope she's going to be making her way here to California pretty soon in the next few days. I heard that she is traveling with a few of her friends are coming over here, which is such a show of commitment, and they're planning to go to Disneyland, which is fantastic. They're bringing the essence of the happiest place on earth to the event, right, Aiko, with you and the Mickey Mouse ears and the Minnie Mouse ears, bringing all that. So, Aiko, what is this possibility that you wanted to share with people, like in the book, as well as on 23rd of September at TEDx Huntington Beach? Because multiple times you were told that your dreams couldn't go through. They didn't even accept you because your English wasn't good enough. Yes, that's the book, Possibilities. So I could share it, her message in that book, as well as she's going to be speaking on the stage. So what is this possibility that you chase, like, that you have discovered in the moment of, hey, you can't go forward with your dream because your English isn't good enough?
Wow. First, when I came to America from Japan, I thought everything will be easy, everything will be fine, right? But then I realized that no, 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 no. Things are so different from what I expected. So, a lot of surprises, a lot of unexpected things happened. So, I was not ready for failing at all, like mentally. So my confidence just was shattered, right? And then after that, I actually stopped trying for like maybe 7 or 8 years. And I was like totally lost. So after that, like all that, my desire to grow came back. So I started listening to my heart and then I took action. So I feel like possibilities are for us to grow from it, from the failures that you have, or like anything that unexpected things happen, and you still keep going. Even though I was lost for a while, I kept going after that. So I feel that like possibilities, or like we feel possibilities when we have so much desire inside of us.
Absolutely. And one of the things that Aiko is going to be sharing her unique take is that the arts of mastering a second language as an adult. Because both Aiko and I were multilingual, and it's hard enough to speak one language properly, but then to speak multiple languages, like in my head, which language am I speaking? Or sometimes I think in a different language, but I say in another language, or it's vice versa. So it's a lot of processing to do. And it is not easy because, you and I, Aiko, we learned, for example, English you learn it in Japan, I learned it in Malaysia. And we thought we're good, right? Our English is good. Like, yeah, grammar 100%, everything is good. Speaking, yeah, everybody can understand me. But then I moved to England and America. I'm like, these people, why are they not understanding what I'm trying to say? I'm speaking English. So it is, and it does have an effect to like who you are, right? Like, why am I doing, especially coming to a different country? So Aiko, in the book, she shares her take on how to, she overcome came those barriers, and also in the talk as well. So, Aiko, what is the biggest thing that you found that adults have that is in the art of mastering a new language? Because it's not an easy thing, but more importantly, like it takes a while to learn a new language. So, very quickly, what's one thing that you have learned when adults are mastering a new language?
Yes, if especially after the age of 12, it becomes really difficult to learn another language. So my recommendation or my discovery was to feel, like really feel the sounds in your voice, and then adjust and fine tune your voice into your second language. Otherwise, I was trying to see sounds like phonetic symbols, or trying to see the spectrograms, or, but we can't see sounds. So all you, like, you want to feel different vibrations in different parts of your body, and then trying to find that vibration or the sound that you want to create.
Beautiful. Looking for the vibration rather than looking at the shape, which is part of it as well. But, like for example, if I were to speak English, it would be hello, hi, my name is Izdihar. But if I were to speak Arabic, it's a completely different constant vowel and vibration. The ha, the ha, the dal, the ra, it's like a whole new vibration, right, Aiko? And it's not the same. So feel in the vibration in your body, in your throat, and your noses, the tongue. It all makes a difference. And I think it's a feeling of embodiment, right? Rather than seeing things, it's like how the embodiment of that language. And one thing I know about language is you just gotta speak it consistently. That's the only way to have it, to gain confidence and courage to like speaking it. Thank you so much, Aiko, for your sharing and the book Possibility. Aiko, can you show the book Possibility? Yes, it's available on Amazon. You can grab a copy and have a look at Aiko's story in there and her take on things. And she will also be speaking at TEDx Hunting Beach in, can you believe it, in a few days. We've been working on this since beginning of the year. So grab a ticket at tedxhuntingtonbeach.com. Come and join us, or come and share the videos when it goes out, after the talk. Thank you so much, Aiko. I'll bring you back in a moment. And now I want to go to my neighbor who literally lives a few minutes, away from me, and kind of like who is like, Laura calls it following the crispy fries, that, following the crispy fries, something that I, maybe Erin as well, didn't expect that we would come to today from the first meeting at the Lakewood Ice Hockey, because both of our kids were in the same. I've never met Erin before, even though my kids have been, my son has been playing hockey for some time. But it was that time I'm like, oh, all the things that moms do, cheering, screaming, yelling, everything that moms do at the ice hockey rink, appropriately so. So, Erin, what's your take on this possibility? Because you've left like a 20 plus years, maybe 30 years of career in the corporate world, that, a world that you've known for most of your life, that you're really, really good at it. And, kind of like having an epiphany, a realization of like, you know what, I'm gonna take some time, Erin calls it the mini retirement, to walk on this path, a different path that I know of, and perhaps being open to possibility. So Erin, what's your take on possibility? And in chapter especially, you wrote that it's the fear of walking beside fear.
Thank you, Izzy, so much for your time and energy on all this. It's super grateful to have gotten to know you over the past year. And you're right, I was in the corporate world for nearly 30 years. And something fell off a few years ago, and I really wasn't brave enough to do anything about it. And at the beginning, you kind of opened up the show like, it's very easy to let things be easy and be comfortable. And when you're in the corporate world and you kind of reach a certain level, you have a lifestyle and an income and a certain way of, I guess, living your life that you get used to. And I suppose that's true no matter what role you play in a job or in the world, as well as like kind of your financial status. You get very used to that. And so several years ago, I got an executive coach, and we started talking about what is it that I want out of this life. And so I made a decision last year to kind of ask myself intentionally, how do I want to show up and make an impact in the next 10 years? And so in March of this year, I left the corporate world to go on that journey and really think through that and have the time and the space to do that. And we met shortly before, actually, I left, and you said, do you want to help with TED? And I was like, oh, that requires getting up on a stage in a different capacity and doing event coordination. And I have these corporate skills, and how does that work? But my word of 2023 is awareness. And I became very aware in that moment. It was just a split second. I became very aware that I was hesitating, and it was something where I was like, I would love to do this. It aligns to my personal values, but it's scary. And there was a lot of fear. And I thought, well, if I had the courage to walk away from my corporate career with complete unknown and no future income in sight, and go through the journey of figuring that out, why not this too? And so it was a pretty quick and easy yes. I'm sure you didn't hear all of that noise in my head when I said yes, but it was all there, and I was battling it.
Oh my God. Like, I didn't hear the noises because I had my own noises, Erin.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, did I just ask her? Like, what if she's, no, she's, she's busy and she's got this. Oh my God. Like, like we all had our noises, right, Erin?
Yeah.
Like the things but the question is, whether do we, listen to or listen or let it dictate us, or we're like, you know what? What is the possibility if I were to do this? What's something that what's the possibility that something else could happen by doing this? And let me tell you, like doing this work is like an accelerated training beyond that. Truly an extra training from all area and all capacity. With the team, creating a team. And I've told Erin from the beginning, I don't want a big team. I don't. It's not about the numbers for me, but more about the connectedness, that intimacy, that people I trust, that people who I can count on to show up, to show, and they say they're going to show and deliver the promises when they say they deliver, and to go through all the, it's like marriage, isn't it? All the partners and the easiness, and we're not in the dating game anymore. It's like the first signs of trouble, I'm out. We're not. We're like in it. Because there's so many people that are counting on us, to the speaker, to all the little details. Oh my God, Ariana was like, this is a white backdrop, but we need it black. Should we put on like papers all around it to make it black? All this little details. And what I love as well, Alan, that you had, like, it takes a lot of balls to walk from something that you're so comfortable with and pays really well, or have a comfortable lifestyle, to something like you said, literally to zero income. In that, literally in kind of that. It takes a lot of balls to have that. But like you said, something happened before that kind of like revealed itself to you, like, what am I going to be doing for the next 10 years? Like, what is it like, my capacity for it? So what's one thing you can share, because you're from the corporate world, from a corporate perspective, to those out there who might have similar experience as you, to perhaps do something different or stay in it, or either. What's your take on, like, one really quick advice that you can share to the corporate women and men?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as I was going through the transition and wrapping up my work, the thing that so many people said to me over and over again, whether they were also desiring to follow maybe a similar path, and maybe how did I do it? How did I become brave enough to do it? And even those that are like, hey, I'm quite happy in the corporate world, but like still was two words, and while they have slightly different meanings, I think everybody's intentions were the same. And that was, wow, I wish I was as brave as you, or wow, it takes a lot of courage. I wish I had that level of courage. And I think at the end of the day, I had the luxury of, because of where I was at in my career, I had the luxury of having some savings to make the leap be a little less scary. But I also had the courage to take the leap in the first place. And the easy thing would have been to keep doing what I was doing for a few more years, and then take an early retirement and kind of enjoy life. And I think that's the path that so many go down. And I think it is absolutely a great path. It provides for your family. It gives you some level of stability. But for me, the misalignment to my values it was really being misaligned with my values. And I needed to have the courage to do things which for me are much harder, because I needed to be aligned with my values. And that was figuring out how to make a bigger impact on this earth with the time I have left. And so I think if you start from your values and you have the courage to be honest with yourself, and then you really plan, you don't just, I'm just going to walk in and quit my job today. I think if you really plan, it's a scary thing. And in the book, the reason I titled the chapter, like, Let the Fear Walk Beside You, is really because I'm scared. I'm scared every single day. I was scared before the decision. I was scared at the moment of the decision. I was scared for the weeks that followed, and I'm still scared today. And I don't see that changing, but I'm not letting that get in the way of doing the things that I believe that I should be doing.
Absolutely. And well said, Erin. Like letting the fear walk beside you, but not letting it like kind of dictate you and the decision that you want to make based on your values. Because um, it is that possibility that like possibility can go, oh, what if the possibility that I failed? Okay, perfect. You failed.
Absolutely.
What did you learn from it? Like, what can you do better? And what if the possibility that making a big impact, like Erin wants to make a bigger impact. She is already making a big impact in her corporate world, but there's something in that restlessness beyond that you see. Um, that's why like all of us are here today, like Erin, Laura, Drew, and myself. Had we played this game for fame, glory, credibility, our brand, our business, our book, all those superficial things, we wouldn't be here today because our work isn't just for 23rd of September. It's beyond that. Like imagine what Erin, Drew, Laura, Aiko, and the other speakers are co-creating now that would last 100 years, 200 years, 300 years of people having that adventure, that fun, that curiosity, that love, that compassion, that inspiration, that just gonna be a songwriter or learning a new language or laughing in the tragedy or like I'm so sad but I'm just gonna do it anyway. So like having that impact is like way beyond, way surpasses way beyond what we have metaphysically. And what Drew reminded me of when I was at his studio last Saturday was that, we're just a vessel. That's the first thing he said to me when I sat down on his brown couch with all his platinum like on top of me, like as if that isn't intimidating enough, and grand piano in front of me, which is like, so he said, okay, I want you to think about that you're just a vessel. We all are just a vessel, like an instrument for the higher power, for God, for the message to run through. So that's gonna take off the pressure off you. It does. It really did. But then I saw the piano. I'm like, oh my God, now I'm gonna have to sing. That just brings back all my anxiety back. But pushing through, right, Drew? Pushing through
Yes.
that fear and just having fun in the moment and really owning who you are, like your voice, your song, your capabilities, your limitations. That's just part of who you are. So let's wrap up with this thought that I am grateful for the possibility of, and what is your intention and message for the world. So we'll start with Drew, since he kicked off the show earlier, who happens to be the first speaker that's going to kick off TEDx Huntington Beach on the day. So Drew, what are you grateful for with the possibility that that's going to be opening up for you?
I'm grateful for the possibility of waking up every day with a clean slate and the opportunity to reinvent myself and achieve whatever is rising to the top of my ambitions.
Absolutely. And just in case you don't know, Drew is a high performer. That's why all of us click together. But one thing Drew also mentioned, sometimes your dream can take a lot from you, whether it's money, it's your energy, whether it's your time. So just be open to that possibility and know that, if that happens, you're in the right track because you're going for your dreams, that your dream is big enough. So thank you so much, Drew, for that gratitude of waking up to having a clean slate. And Laura, what is the possibility that you are grateful for?
I am grateful for the opportunity to discover the edge of what's possible by exploring the impossible.
Okay, that is like profound.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to go into the impossible to find the edge of what's possible. And I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Absolutely. And just keep on finding humor and comedic relief in the everyday things that you see. And hopefully it will give you a possibility that you can discover. Because I think like Someone once told me that when you want to create something, you got to come from the space of gratitude and joy and freedom and laughter. Because when you want to create something, it's really hard for you to create something out of sadness. Like, sadness or fear. It's not, you can, but, when you come from laughter and joy and compassion and love, it's just so much more that what you can have. Thank you so much for that, Laura. So, Aiko, what is the possibility that you are grateful for, or what's happening, the dream that's going to be possible for yourself and for other people?
Well, I am grateful for the possibility of seeing myself go beyond my limitations once I set for myself, and then setting myself free from those opinions or ideas. And I want to see others go beyond their limitations. So, like, I'm really excited and I'm passionate about sharing my journey to encourage people to do that.
Beautiful. And I think it was you, right, Aiko, that you messaged me like when you applied. You're like, oh my God, I just did it. I saw it, but I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. No, no, like it's just like no. And then because I think you knew like there was a closing deadline, right? So I think you're like, oh my God, like there's a deadline and this. So you went past your limitations to like go for it because it is real, what you have to go through. So yeah, going through past your limitation. All right, Erin. So what is something that you are grateful for, the possibility that you could not have imagined that could come into play or potentially have come into play?
Yeah, I'm really grateful for the possibility to make choices that are in alignment with my character, because I think having that as an option and then embracing that and going forward with that allows me to go places that I couldn't have even dreamed of. And I think that's the thing, right? We all have our dreams, but then sometimes when we say yes to things that are in alignment with our best selves and our best character and how we want to show up in the world, we end up in other unexpected places that create new possibilities for us that we couldn't have thought that big.
Absolutely. And that's such a valuable thing, isn't it, Erin? Like making decisions that are in alignment with your values, that in somehow a revealing of your character, of who you are. You don't have to go and shout out that I'm this, this, and this, and this. The choices that you make, the way you behave, the way you present yourself, decisions that you make, the way you show up reveals your character. And the people that are attracted to that particular character are gonna be attracted to you. They couldn't deny you. No matter what you do, that you couldn't deny you. But just like Erin and I, there was something about her. Like I only knew Erin, I think last year or something. Or yeah, last year.
Yeah.
So it wasn't long that we reviewed, but there was something that kind of like, I felt safe, this trustworthiness with her. And look, our conversations are just beyond who's your kid? That's my kid. What does he do? And what, it's like those kind of conversations. Let's share the story. Tell the boys to stop the puck. Those are the conversations that we
Yeah.
have at the ring.
Yeah.
But the way you are being reveals your character. So it's so important that you kind of like make decisions that are in alignment with your values, because it's gonna be revealed and it's gonna be beautiful. And like Erin said, opens up opportunities to possibility that you have beyond imagine. So everybody, we just wanted to thank you for joining us today to the show. Make sure if you haven't yet, grab your tickets at tedxhuntingtonbeach.com/tickets. There's only a few tickets left. And also the book is available on Amazon. Laura and not Laura, can you, Aiko, could you show the book? Yay, that is the book with a purple cover and a sparkle of possibility in there. Thank you so much, Erin, Aiko, Drew, and also Laura for being here today, for sharing your thoughts, for sharing your wisdom, for having, going the journey that we've gone through together, the possibility that we've co-created, the possible impact that we've co-created together, and the community that we have left inspired is, such an honor and such a blessing. So I just want to say thank you, Erin, Laura, Aiko, and Drew, and the rest of the team of TEDx Huntington Beach and the speakers. And we hope to see you at TEDx Huntington Beach. All right, Erin, one final word of possibility.
Acknowledge your fear without letting it own your choices.
Beautiful. Aiko.
Keep going.
Keep going no matter what. Keep going. Laura, your final word.
Find that dream and go big. Go for it.
Go big. Go big. Go small. Go left. Go right. Just go forward, right? No matter where you go.
Go.
All right, Drew. You just go. Drew, your final word.
Chase the light that's burning brightest in your heart.
Yeah, you can tell he's a songwriter, right? That's just like, you have a melody behind it. All right, everybody, take care. May peace be upon you, and we hope to see you at TEDx Huntington Beach. If not, go ahead and share the videos of the speakers once we have been released, and grab the book on Amazon. All right, everybody, take care. May peace be upon you. Remember that be brave in your voices, because you are too big to be hiding in the background. Take care. May peace be upon you. Let's say bye, everybody.
Bye.